Hi, and welcome to this vocabulary lesson because we are going to look at synonyms, collocations in context, and words that belong in the word family. I hope you'll stick around with me every single day, learn these 3,000 words with me. Upwards, upwards. Upwards can be in this direction, or it can be in kind of from the bottom left to the up right. It's the direction that we read in English, and so it's in that direction. Upwards generally has to do with forward motion and progress. So I have this picture here that shows an upwards trend. Some synonyms for the word upwards are upper, and upper just means whatever is in the higher part. Overhead. Overhead is also what's this up here. Ascending. That means going up. So upwards has this idea of a movement from lower to a higher place. Uppermost, uplifted. The word uplifted usually has an emotional feeling about it. To be uplifted means that maybe you were down before and now your mood is higher. You were uplifted. It can also be a spiritual experience, to be really uplifted by that movie that helped you, that made you a better person. And topmost can be a synonym. Soaring. Birds soar through the sky. When they stop flapping their wings and they just are flying like this, that's called soaring. And so you can say prices were soaring. It means they had this upwards arc. Let's look at some examples. So upwards can mean toward a higher motion. It's a physical movement. The hot air balloon drifted upwards until it disappeared in the clouds. So some collocations here are drift upwards. Drift would be to move in a direction without really having a purpose of moving in that direction. So drift upwards, float upwards, rise upwards, or move upwards. This is the literal movement upward. It's the meaning of the word, to move up from a low spot to a high spot. We can also use upwards to talk about an increasing number or amount. For example, house prices have been moving upwards for several months. And we might say house prices have been trending upwards, or climbing upwards, or pushing upwards. It talks about growth, improvement, or inflation, depending on the context. Upwards can be used to mean more than a certain amount. For example, the concert attracted upwards of 20,000 people. And this is the collocation, upwards of. Upwards of means it was more than 20,000 people. Upwards from means we started at 20 and then we went higher. It's approximation, meaning more than. Upwards can be a direction that we look in, not just one that we move in. For example, she glanced upwards at the stars before making her wish. We can look upwards. We can gaze upwards. Gazing is the same as looking, but for a long time. And we can glance upwards. Glancing is the same as looking, except for a very short time. So gaze would be you usually gaze lovingly into your boyfriend's eyes. It's a long look, and a glance is a very short look. When we look upwards or we glanced upward at the stars, it's a positive. We're reflecting, we're hoping, there's curiosity, there's admiration. Anything that moves up is going to have kind of a positive connotation. So upwards can be from a specific point and then go further to a higher point. Children aged 10 years and upwards may participate in the competition. The and upwards or upwards from means we're starting the minimum value of a range, and then we're going up from that. Rise upwards. Smoke rose upwards from the chimney. We also trend upwards. For example, sales have continued to trend upwards this quarter. Move upwards. The elevator moved slowly upwards. Upwards of. The repairs could cost upwards of $5,000 and upwards. The course is suitable for learners aged 16 and upwards. Again, that's the range where we start at the minimum and then we say more than that and upwards. Upwards of, it means more than. There were upwards of 50 applicants. There were more than 50. And upwards is more or older. For example, prices start at 100 and upwards, suitable for children 8 and upwards. So it's that bottom range, and then we move up from there. Upwards is neutral and works in both spoken and written English. It can also be formal. The company's profits have trended upwards, and it can be informal. The balloon kept floating upwards. You would say it in a business meeting. You might also say it to your friend. Now, when do we use upward or upwards? They're usually interchangeable. The smoke drifted upward. The smoke drifted upwards. It's interesting that in British English, upwards is more common. And in American English, we use them interchangeably. The opposite of upwards is downwards. And all the same meanings that we say with upwards, we can say with downwards, but the opposite. Upper, upwards. This is not a noun or a verb. It's a direction that you move, so it's an adverb. Upwards. I really hope that you enjoyed this word. Research shows that if you know 3,000 words, then you can pretty much say anything you need to say. I hope I'll see you tomorrow, and please like and subscribe.